In this video, we will see what are the components and how to create the components. So what are the differences between class components and functional components, and what are the structure of the class and functional components. And to create the components, first of all, we will starting by creating the class component. And after that, we are going to create the functional component. To create the component, go to this source folder, and I'm going to create one folder with name components. Inside this folder, create one file with a name class components. You can name it whatever you want, but the first letter should be a capital letter. The extension will be .js. To create the class components, you can just call as RCE and click enter. This will generate a class component code for us. To get these snippets, go to this extension tab and type ES7. You can find this extension and install it. After install it, you can call RFCE for functional components and RCE for a class components. That keyword will generate boilerplate code that look like this. It contains one import statement, React, and it will import components from React library. And also we have a class. I'm deleting this export as we are already exporting this at the bottom of this component. These components will contain one class with the name of class components. This name is same as our component name. And it extends the component library from React library. It also contains one render method. Inside this render method, we have a return. This return method will return some HTML. Inside this division, I'm writing one h1 with a name. This is class component, and I'm saving it. After that, we are exporting this by default as a class component. Okay. After that, we are going to add these components to app.js file. After that, we are going to add this class component to app.js file. This app.js file be the parent component that contains all the children components like our remaining components like class components and functional components. On the top of the app.js file, import that class components from, and then write the location as /. Inside the components, we have our class components. We have our class components. To import the class component, come into this parent component and write this name inside it, class components and a slash with this, and save it. After this, if you're going to browser, then our class component will be added to our main component called app component. After this, we will create our functional components, and then we will get the differences between the class components and functional components better. Inside this same folder, components folder, create one file name with functional components.js. You should remember the first letter should be capital letter. Inside this, I'm using the keyword called RFCE to generate a functional component. Inside these functional components, we have one import statement which imports React from React library, and this is a basic function with a function name, and I'm exporting this function name at the bottom of this function, and the function will return a division. Inside this division, I'm writing this is functional component. You can change it to the arrow function as React supports ES6 features. To convert this into arrow functions, simply write const function which is equals to with an arrow. This will simply convert this ordinary function to an arrow function. You can pass the parameters here. After exporting this component, and we are going to add this component into the app.js file. To add the component is same as like the class component. First of all, we will import the component from that folder. Import functional from the location of the folder will be /components, and inside this components we have our functional components and a semicolon. To import this functional component, under the class components, I'm importing that functional component. And we are done. In the browser, it will displaying this is a functional component. We have successfully created our class component and a functional components, and we are imported into the app.js file, which is our parent component. In next video, we will see what are the props and how the props are going to use inside this class components and functional components.